That is a lie.
Well, leave a comment if you've ever seen me post anything. I don't post on. I'm never on Facebook. They'll be like, "Where you at?" I'll be like, "Not on Facebook." But what you want to do new? I'm like, something else besides getting on Facebook, different.
You just gonna lie all day?
What? What? I didn't lie. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Can't believe you. I don't be lying. I be telling the truth when I be talking.
Cuz just joined.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Your cousin Andre.
What up, Dre? We'll talk about that offline. But I know you've been putting in work today. We're gonna invite the Howard University alumni to the show because I graduated with that Diddy curriculum. 2 years to go do music.
And it is homecoming weekend.
And it's homecoming weekend. HU?
It was like Black homecoming weekend like everywhere. Yeah. It was our homecoming, which is Howard. It was Hampton's homecoming. It was, I believe it was
Gelman
homecoming. It was also the AUC homecoming. So we had Clark
and
Atlanta.
Georgia State.
Yeah. Clark Atlanta, Spelman, and Morehouse had their homecoming. Shout out to Alexis, because that's why she's not here this weekend.
Hopefully the rest of everybody at the ACU?
AUC.
At the AUC that's with her is tuned into the show right now. I almost went to Morehouse. I got accepted, but I didn't go because Gelman told me not to go. Because he came in for a summer, and he was like, ain't no girls up that jump. Don't go.
It's true.
My nephew.
Don't go here. Ain't no girls up there. I'm like, okay.
That's why I didn't go.
So I went to Howard.
I went to Hampton, the real HU.
No, Howard, the real HU?
13
you? No?
Oh, Lord. Anyway.
Too bad Hampton lost their homecoming game this weekend, Yeoman. Sorry about that, buddy. That blue and white just didn't do right. I'm just saying.
Get him.
And we got Cam Newton, little brother of HU? You? No? We got Diddy. They got DJ Envy. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Dre said just these are bitches. Oh yeah, The Walking Dead returns tonight.
Hey.
Gelman, where you at? What season you on? Gelman got all the sound effects right now.
Say something else about HU.
We the real
y'all ain't HU. Y'all like HI.
Thank you.
Oh my God. You better turn
You're
that
awful. You're awful.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm on season 6.
So you got.
I just finished the episode where Glenn is just fell off that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's alive or dead yet.
Okay.
So don't say nothing. I think he's alive, but I'm hoping he's alive because it hurt my heart to see him. But I don't think he's dead.
Okay.
So you got an entire season to go. So yeah, don't be around me and Mel for the next until you finish.
When's the
Tonight. Season 8 starts tonight.
Yes.
And you got to finish all of season 7.
Yeah.
Yes.
And season 7 was slow.
I heard it was bad.
Yeah.
I heard it was bad.
You might want to watch the review.
The recap.
The recap. I watched the recap. I've been watching Walking Dead recaps all weekend.
Season 7 was painful, man.
Yeah.
It was so painful to watch.
And so many good things that could have happened. They just didn't.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, we'll stop. But I'm so excited for season 8 tonight.
The
premiere tonight?
Yeah. I'm mad at that.
Finish it this week. How many episodes is it?
I'll finish it by tomorrow.
Yeah,
they
caught up by next Sunday.
So next Sunday we'll do a viewing party.
Yeah, that'll work.
Kickbackers. Oh, sorry, my throat. Kickbackers. What's up? Kickback TV. We're gonna get into the show. I think we shared it. What up, Sam? What up, Megan? Let's go ahead and get into the show. Kickback TV, live from Atlanta. I am New the Mayor, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. I'm right back at it. You hear me? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the applause. No applause.
What's about to happen? What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Melanie D. Wait, so should I give him the
yeah!
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Melanie Dion of House Forehand. What did I say? Shit, I forgot.
It was shit. First of her name.
Okay. It's your girl Melanie Dion of House Forehand. First of her name. Queen of Creeps, Breaker of Men.
Boom.
There you go.
Boom.
There you have it. I got
Boom. Applause. What you got, JB?
JB Frank, y'all. I'm that gangster geek representing nerds with attitude. Happy Sunday, everyone.
Happy Sunday.
And we got Pandora tuned in.
The
Lady Hit Your Talkies. Spelman night. I hope everybody that went to the AUC is tuned in on your phone. Pass it around. Show everybody. What's up, everybody? Happy homecoming?
Yes.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy homecoming. Happy homecoming to all of
we
our
have special effects now.
HBCU family. So, yeah, let's get the show started.
HU, you know?
We gotta say.
What happened? Oh, and the revolution.
God.
KickbackTV Live for Ladder, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. So let's get into it. What is our hot story of the day?
So, our hot story is that Toni Braxton and Birdman are married. A lot of people didn't even know that they were dating, but apparently they've been an item for like a couple of years, I want to say, and they secretly got married like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It's coming out.
I'm not surprised because after I broke up with Toni, she was devastated, and she went through a lot. And Birdman, apparently he came in and I don't like him that old. Toni 50, Birdman 48. I like him like something like that.
Oh my God.
So she hit like in her 40s. I was like, oh no, baby, what you doing? You had too many birthdays. I gotta let you go.
Oh
you got that.
He's a mess.
But she's had an effect on Birdman, almost like a Badu effect. He's removing his face tattoos. He's taking out his grill. He got pearly white teeth. He's
going all Gucci Mane on us.
Yeah. Now that everybody want to go back to looking like me. Interesting.
Whatever.
You think
Come on, young. Like,
crickets.
whatever.
Crickets.
Crickets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have those on cue.
Yeah.
Well, what you think, man? How you feel about Toni and Birdman? And the apparent effect, she ain't got him to pay his son yet. He ain't paid Wayne. She ain't had that much effect.
I don't know what kind of... That may happen down the road. But, hey, if she's cleaning him up... Because I don't like face tattoos. So, hey, if that works for them, go for it. If she's happy, if they're happy, I'm not going to hate on it.
Yeah. JB?
Yeah, it's definitely a surprise, but I think them dating in the beginning was a surprise. So, yeah, I ain't mad at them. We'll see what happens. Like,
I hope it can last.
Yeah.
They both old. I don't think they get married at this age for any other reason. They both at 50 or knocking on 50.
Absolutely.
I would think they think it's real.
I hope so.
You know what I'm saying? So, congratulations, man.
Janet Jackson got married, though, and she was 50. And,
she's Jackson 50. That Jackson 50 is different than regular human 50.
That's true. Very true.
That Jackson. What else we got? But Janet, you single now, if you hey, call me. Ashanti got my number.
Oh, geez.
I jumped in the DMs last week. After no bullshit. I'm all in Ashanti DMs.
Yeah, let's move on to that what the fuck story.
Followed by that what the fuck.
Going from one what the fuck to the next.
Yeah.
Playboy.
Yeah, so Playboy now has their first transgender playmate. I'm opening it up to the floor to somebody start us off with this one.
How about that?
A French model.
Yeah.
And it's Raoul. I guess that's how you say it. She's 26. Will be the first the first transgender woman to be the playmate for Playboy. This is not the first transgender person that they've had pose in the magazine. They had someone back in 1991 who posed. I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised, especially with the day and age that we're in. Transgender people are everywhere. I have transgender friends. Like, okay, it's a trans person as a centerfold. That's fine.
This is how I feel. I have issues.
I know where this is about to go.
You know what? We can have a real conversation. I got to give you my backstory so you understand a little bit. I'm trying to be more evolved. I'm doing a show with Mel and Alexis. They've been, hitting me with all these different perspectives that I'm not really used to even having the time to go through. So I'm like, okay, well, if you say this, I can see your point there. We're making a little progress. But on this one, I can't make any progress because I try to do a real judgment, a real test of myself and not just lip service. So I go, okay, they were born a man, at least physically. They never felt they were a man. They always felt they were a woman. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But they were born technically a male with the penis. And I go, okay. And then they go through the hormones and the procedures and whatever psychological thing they go through, and then the whole physical procedure, and then they identify as transgender women. And I go, would I fuck them? If I met a transgender woman at a bar, and she was like, hey, I was born Tito. My name now is Titolina. Let's go home and do the Uchi Coochie. And I would be like, my brother, like, you're still a man to me. And that let me know that there's a limit to my evolution. There's a limit to my understanding. There's a limit to my tolerance. Because if I believe that transgender women are truly women, then why wouldn't I have sex with them? I don't believe that. So since I don't believe that a transgender woman is truly a woman, I don't believe that transgender women should be allowed to pose for Playboy. That's where I'm at. This is my opinion only. I'm not trying to push it on anybody. I don't have an agenda. I'm for the rights of anyone in America, as long as they don't impede on mine. So I'm Gucci, but I find it a little like why are you in Playboy? Don't they have transgender magazines? Or maybe they don't. Maybe they should start one. I might start one. That's like a lucrative industry or something. I don't know. But like, why I gotta be in a woman thing? So can now transgender men, so women that became men, can they now be in Playgirl? It's just a lot.
Playboy's title says Playboy, magazine for men. So how are you then gonna have a man that's
But they're not men.
They don't consider themselves men.
Right.
But would the viewership agree with that?
Hold up. Yeah,
there are men who like trans women.
Yeah, let's keep it 100. Like, and let's be clear. I am not one of them. But
let's be clear.
Like,
be clear. Let me use the whole hand. Let me tell you something. I am not one.
But transgender porn has been around almost as long as heterosexual porn has been around. Like,
but we're heterosexual males like looking and enjoying that porn.
I can see that.
I don't understand it, but they consider themselves heterosexual, and that is what they do. Like, God rest his soul, but you could talk to Teddy Pendergrass today, and he would tell you that he wasn't gay. But we all know what the fuck he did, right? He got caught in a car with a drag queen. Like, there are dudes who like that shit. It just is what it is.
He's always said they caught Eddie Murphy doing that shit.
They said they caught Eddie Murphy doing that.
What about D'Angelo? Or did he just get caught with a prostitute?
I think D'Angelo was just a prostitute. I don't think so. I don't know. I know his baby mama Angie Stone. Like,
yeah.
Like D'Angelo. Like, wait a minute, brother.
Pray with me, brother.
Yeah. So I'll finish with this, New. Like, it's out there. It is what it is. Given how over covered transgenders are in the media today, I am not the least bit surprised that Playboy would jump on this trend right now. I'm just not.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I'm just not comfortable.
I've accepted it.
What do you guys think?
Good question.
Give us your thoughts. You know, and, as part of the show, you can type in your comments. If you're watching us live on Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, on our YouTube page, Kickback TV show, Kickback TV live from Atlanta, you can type in the comments on YouTube. So let us know your thoughts, whether you're on Facebook Live or whether you watch this on YouTube. Let us know your thoughts. Before we move on, Callie says most of the time you can't even tell transgender women from real women. Not so much my experience. This is what I do. I err on the side of I don't know what you are. So if I see a pretty girl and she's like 6'4", I'll be like, you're probably a dude. I'm just not going to talk to you. Like, am I discriminating? Maybe, but I live in Atlanta. I'm just not going to do it. So my scope, spectrum of women I'll talk to, like, I don't do plastic. So if you got fake boobs or fake ass, you could have been a dude. I don't know. I ain't talking to you either.
You're asking for birth certificates?
I'm asking birth certificates, 6th grade.
Adam's apples?
I'm looking at 6th grade pictures. I want to see the picture of you with Santa Claus when you was on Easter Bunny leg. I want to see your high school prom pictures. I want to see your second year college pictures. And I want to see freaky pictures that you sent to your ex in college. I want to see all the pictures. It's all in the cloud. I need to see all that shit.
Oh, my God.
So I know. and I want to meet your parents. I want to meet your parents. And like, what's up? What did you name your child when they were born? Was it Tito or Tina Lena? I need to know.
Even this Tina Lena.
I'm just saying.
Tito or Tina. I think
I was thinking Tina too, but you know, whatever.
See, that's because y'all sexist.
I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'll put it simply, and this is part of my problem with this movement, quite frankly, because it is over. I won't be over judgmental and say that they are over sensationalized, but it's just everywhere right now. But yeah, it'd be a little easier for me to have difficulty telling whether you were a transgender or not if you didn't always splash it up everywhere. You know, like it's all over the media. It's everywhere. Like, she's not being presented as a Playboy playmate. She is being presented as a transgender woman playmate. So, yeah, it makes it real fucking easy to tell at that point. And I can analyze her and look at her and look at all the other motherfuckers and have a real good basis for comparison. Y'all ain't gonna think y'all are that normal. Like, men study women. Like, don't be...
Interesting point, though. I mean, like the plight for equality and transgenders to be accepted, then why sensationalize it so much to make it so different when you're trying to...
I feel like
they want to be accepted. They want to be accepted for their difference.
But see, in my opinion,
I know what you I got you on that.
Okay.
You ain't far.
Okay.
I got you.
But
they want to be
again,
accepted for the difference. But that's contradictory to the whole plight of what they're searching for, which is equality.
Thank you very much for saying it so clearly, because that is what I struggle with. But is it
because if we treat them as equals, then they should be able to say exactly. But you know what the weird thing is? They would say if it was the first black woman in Playboy, they would announce it that way, I think. Or would they?
They would, because you know what? Black women aren't trying to be white women. They're trying to be acknowledged for being black women. A transgender person's not trying to be acknowledged as to be transgender. They're trying to be acknowledged as a woman.
Well,
they're not saying, "Oh yeah, I want to be known as a transgender woman." No, they want to be accepted as a woman.
Which is why you got the operation in the first place.
Exactly. So
you wanted to be a part of another society.
To sensationalize the fact that you are different.
Thank you.
Sam says some platforms' desire to normalize acceptance is often showing how different they are. Sticking out is the opposite of assimilation. So they want to say, I'm trans and I'm in your magazine, and I guess they want us to like it. But the thing is, I don't like it. I don't like it.
But then that goes against the whole idea of being.
But see, I'm stuck in the middle because
as a woman.
I'm stuck in the middle because
they're literally trying to establish a different gender, like male, female, trans. They're trying to make separate.
They call it so now, and this is what I don't like. They're calling women now traditional women, which we got to give a damn word, cis women. So Mel is a cis woman, and that would be a transgender woman. And I'm like, no, Mel's a woman, and you are not. But that's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know the rest of the world don't feel the way I feel. You know what I'm saying? The views of New the Man are solely representative of the views of New the Man. And you don't like it, you can suck my... Do I have a cis? What kind of... What I got? What I got?
I'm done.
I don't know what the term is.
So moving on to the next topic. Yeah,
don't
we about to...
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's time.
Okay.
Next topic.
Time to transition.
All right, my man.
That's what transgender said.
My 5% of brother, my A-alike God body, the Abbot himself, ruler Zigzag Zigala, Prince Rakeem, the RZA of Wu-Tang Clan, went on the Breakfast Club to discuss the new Wu-Tang project, which is produced totally by Allah Mathematics. Peace to the God, Allah Mathematics. Method Man killed it. Make sure you get the new Wu-Tang album. The saga continues. It's really good. It's like really traditionally old school good, but still has a current enough vibe that you would listen to it. Get it. And Method Man killed everything. Moving on to the story. There was a story that came out about a year ago about Azalea Banks, who stars in one of RZA's movies, being at a Hollywood party that RZA took her to, where they were in some kind of discussion with Russell Crowe. The discussion, I believe there was another woman that Azalea got into an argument with, and she was going to fight her, maybe even stab her. It got out of hand. And at some point, the debate wound up being between her and Russell Crowe, and the story is Russell Crowe spit on her. She made a big deal about it, went all over social media. RZA downplayed it, said Russell didn't spit on her. Fast forward to this recent interview about the new Wu-Tang album, and RZA clarifies and says that Russell did spit at her. Like, you're beneath me. And it's, you spit towards someone or whatever, like, nothing. And it was kind of like, damn, RZA, like, you said he didn't spit on her, but you kind of downplayed it all. Which kind of was like, what the hell? And he was like, we do a lot of crazy shit at Hollywood parties. Y'all never hear about it. So there's kind of a code that no matter how fucked up this shit is in this party, we don't talk about it outside of it. And he was trying to adhere to that, and he was kind of disappointed that she didn't. But Charlamagne the God said, like, you let the white man spit at the sister, 5% God body, and you just let that go? Like, that don't seem right.
Right.
And RZA was like, he apologized to me. I took a little exception to that, but maybe it's the thing of him not trying to spill the beans because it's the Hollywood thing. But I was just like, if you're a white man and you spit near a black woman in front of me, you're probably gonna make me compromise some things in my personal life. I'm probably gonna lose a job or something. I'm gonna take unless something happens and I don't be regular new. I'm probably gonna lose some shit out of my life behind this situation. Yeah. So I was kind of like, But it was interesting. He waited an entire year later to say something. And I'm not a big Azalea Banks fan. Actually, I'm not a fan of hers at all. I don't like her. She's quite annoying. I can imagine that she probably pissed people off.
And that's what I'm saying. She probably did some shit to really. Azalea Banks does things to draw attention to herself. The only reason why people know her name is because she's always attacking somebody on Twitter about something that they did or said. So let's just be real about it and put things in perspective here. Like, Azalea Banks probably really did some, we know she did some shit. She attacked somebody. She threatened to cut some lady with a glass. And then when he tried to have her removed from the situation, I guess things escalated even more. And that's what led to him spitting at her. But, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to him, like, striking her. And I'm sure he probably didn't want to do that. Like, come on. Spitting on her was probably at least the last thing. The least of the things that he could do to her. Not that makes it okay, but I'm just like, it's wow.
I don't know, man. I can rock with you on this one.
I'm just not a fan of hers. Like, she does shit all the time to draw attention to herself, and I believe she would use this as another opportunity to draw some more attention to herself. It starts people talking about her. People start to then listen to her music and wonder what the hell she's talking about. You start looking her up on Wikipedia and shit. Like, but you always see. I guess all publicity is good publicity in her mind, and so this is just in my mind. This is another opportunity for her to have herself be a conversation piece, and that's what she did.
Well, you made it to Kickback TV Live from Atlanta, so good job, Azealia Banks, because you made it to the #1 show on the internet, YouTube, Facebook, and Mahente.com.
Yeah, I don't like her. Not that says it's okay, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what I struggle with. It's not okay for a female to get spat on in my presence under any circumstances. But at the same time, I wasn't there, so who the fuck knows?
So would it make a difference to y'all if it was the white woman who spit on her?
Yeah. Yeah. Because she a woman. She can handle that. She can't really beat up Russell Crowe.
So what if so just a man in general?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Black,
but
white,
even,
Hispanic, or...
Yeah, but even
black man,
worse
white man, whatever. But it's a lot worse that it's a white man. It's a lot worse.
Cause that go back to that slave owner shit, and like slaves had black men had to sit there as slaves and not do shit when they was raping their women, and I don't have that level of fear, cause my world is more privileged. You know what I'm saying? So when my ancestors couldn't jump in like, you're not gonna rape my wife, I can be like, you ain't gonna spit not in front of me.
Not in front of me, dog. I'm riding with you 1,000%. I can't.
But if
imagine.
she said to him, that's what your mother did, and his mother was deceased, I would probably understand.
Yeah, and that's why I can't really say much more than that, dude, because I wasn't there. I'm telling you, I had a visceral reaction to that, is what I'm saying. That's all I can say about that.
And next story, check out the Wu-Tang album. It's pretty good. And check out Versus Movie with Azealia Banks. She allegedly did an amazing job.
I can't even watch it because she in it. That's what I'm saying. I just don't rock with her. She's the type of girl I'd want to spit on her. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, if you spit on her, I ain't jumping in it.
That's fine.
I'm like, get her, man.
I'm just pulling weed out, whatever.
True. She'll be looking for you on Instagram tomorrow.
Where's Mellow? Where is So Mellow from Atlanta? Bitch, I'm here.
Man, let her know you one of the Walking Dead. Y'all see your shirt?
Okay. NBC and their ratings with Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, they're dropping through the floor steadily, and this latest move didn't help at all. Well, I mean, they released, their very popular anchor, Tamron Hall, for Megyn Kelly, right? And apparently they thought that this was going to boost their,
This is part of what, Good Morning America?
Yeah.
No, the Today Show.
The Today Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were on she and Al Roker were showing the 9 o'clock hour of the Today Show.
Okay.
It doesn't really make sense to move somebody as hot, apparently, as Tamron Hall was, out of that position. But, the natural progression happened. Their ratings have dipped. People are all over social media talking about why did you do this? It's a really, really stupid move, and we can't ignore, the change in the shade.
And celebrities are saying, we'll do the Today Show, but not her album. Mm-hmm. We don't want to be part of that segment. Mm-hmm. So it's a particular it's a backlash on overall ratings, and it's a backlash from other celebrities who are refusing to appear during that time slot. It just like, we're doing one before, we're doing one after, not hers.
Mm-hmm.
It just appears so overtly racist and bad, though.
They got rid of the Black album.
Yeah.
Yes.
With somebody from Fox News.
Yeah. Like it just looks bad all the way around.
I mean, the thing is that they were already having a bad view from black people because Melissa Harris Perry was no longer with them, and then to lose a really, really popular show with Tamron Hall. Well, I won't say show, but a segment with Tamron Hall and Al Roker.
So that was definitely a show.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that is a show. Yeah.
It is a show, essentially. It's all part of a broader show, but whatever. So, but to lose those two anchors in that 9 o'clock time slot, that left us with essentially nobody except for Joy. I want to say AM Joy. I think that's the name of her show. But Yeah.
Really quick, shout out to Myron because he said the backlash sounds like it'll come from a demographic that they don't care about anyway.
Well,
That's the sad
well,
part,
and that's the thing.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So now their ratings suck because they put Megyn Kelly in this time slot, who was traditionally on Fox News, catering to a much wider audience than what's on MSNBC or NBC. Like, the people that she's now catering to, the demographic that she's supposed to be appealing to now is going to be more minorities, younger white people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same audience at all. So yeah, those ratings have definitely declined. Black people ain't watching her. We don't like Megyn Kelly.
We don't like Megyn Kelly.
And this is a stupid decision in my opinion made by
whites and others don't like Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Megyn Kelly.
But since Trump won the election, they're going with the Trump audience thing.
But see, and that's a senior white man's decision, in my opinion.
Yep.
Right? This is senior executives not listening to junior executives that have built the baseline of their audience right now. This was a boss move that was just a really, 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 really stupid decision.
I don't know how they could just figure that just hiring Megyn Kelly was just going to force a certain demographic to just start watching their network. MSNBC is definitely a way more progressive and liberal network. I don't know how they thought she was just supposed to just fit in.
They thought that was guaranteed money. Like, they think that when they go, exactly.
Fox money.
And they like, even if we get 0.1% of that, like, that's going to be way more than anything else we can get in that hour. They're not understanding the demographics associated with America. Like, the minority dollar is more powerful than the white dollar per capita now because no, it's not per capita, but it's in total, simply because there are more of us. Right, and there are significantly more of us now. It's just different, and they don't get it. You know, they're too old to get it, too white to get it.
But I think the thing that they missed out on was they're losing a lot of white dollars, and that segment no more can get celebrities that it wants because pop culture is anti-Trump. So they're missing advertising dollars during that slot. So they're getting hit in way more areas than just black people not watching.
Well, and what I meant
Do you
by
see what I'm saying?
yeah, oh no, I understand exactly what you're saying. I was gonna elaborate and add on to that. You're right, but it transcends white people because the simple fact is that minorities and that statistically if you statistically include white women, then it becomes ridiculous. But if you take just minority people versus white people, we take up a larger percentage of the American population, like a much larger percentage.
Only thing I'm saying is a lot of minorities voted for Trump, is what I'm saying. So it ain't just about minorities. What I'm saying is a lot of the majority, well, whatever you want to call white men in this country or white people in this country, a good percentage of them still don't want to see that shit. And that's what I'm speaking to.
Okay,
it ain't
so
about
white
minorities.
Men is what you're talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
It ain't about minorities versus white people or white men. It's about people not interested in that Trump shit. White men not interested in it. White women not interested in it. Black people not interested in it. Other minorities not. You know what I'm saying? It's not just the people of color versus white people thing on this show, in my opinion. Now, I ain't saying I'm right. This is my opinion. I don't think it's about just that. I think it's about people not fucking with Trump. The I don't fuck with Trump team versus the I do fuck with Trump team. And the I don't fuck with Trump team is evidenced by the popular vote is the majority. That's what I'm saying.
That's a very valid point.
Because I want you to alienate my John Browns. What up?
Let's build on that though, because the discrepancy, the problem is that is an intelligent and intellectual point of view about that perspective. These senior white men, in my opinion, do not have that. These senior white men mistakenly believe that if I do something for people who are rocking with Trump, then I got all white men. I think that is the mistake that they're making. Like,
I think you're right.
that population distinction creates a distinction in perspective too for American society. Like some of that dumb shit we're just not going to rock with anymore as a people because there's just more of us who feel differently.
I agree. Mel, anything you want to add to that?
Nope, I'm done.
Let's bounce along, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Kick back, If you're wondering, Pandora Alexis is out doing news correspondence for the AUC.
You got it. Look at you.
College Homecoming's in Atlanta. She'll report on that next week, but she's out there in them streets, so we holding it down. We got Gilman in the building.
What's up?
And the kids, apparently.
And the kids. If you get the kids, they are partying. That's all you do. Yeah, man. What else we got, man?
Our Grind and Shine Awards.
Oh, so NBC does get the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid
they do.
Award.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
So
we sure
NBC,
get
you get the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award.
Yes, you do.
Shut up, stupid.
Shut up.
Just shut
Put some more black faces on the wall. And we not coming here no more, Sal.
anymore. Where is
And get some of my Latino brothers in here. Andale. And some of my Native American brothers and sisters. Woo, woo. Do it.
I mean, Disney even figured that shit out. ESPN even figured that shit out.
That's right. I think Jamel Hill comes back this week, to your point. But moving on, Mel, our next award is...
Grind and Shine Award goes to Lil Jon for
Lil
opening
Jon.
up his school in Ghana.
You want to break that down?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead, JB.
Okay.
We want to give a round of applause to Lil Jon, Grand Sound Award recipient for opening up a school in Ghana, elementary school.
Well, I've got the article right here, guys. So he funded the construction of a primary school in Ghana to increase the educational efforts in the eastern region of Ghana. So this is basically like it's not by like the main city, Accra. It's like out in the bushes somewhere. Basically, it's away from the city. It's a more rural thing. You know, it was all over Ghanaian media, obviously. One of their internet radio outlets, Star FM Online, blasted it everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, you know, shout out to Lil Jon. He did a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Lil Jon. Definitely appreciate Lil Jon for his efforts. Oprah did a school in Africa. Diddy did a school in America. Jalen Rose, former NBA player, did a school in the United States. I appreciate all of the efforts, but sometimes when they do these schools out of the country, it stings a little bit. Mm-hmm. I know that there's probably more abject poverty in Ghana than it is in the United States, and I want to be sympathetic to that. But just a little teeny bit, sting a little bit, like you could have did this on the DC. But I applaud all efforts to educate all people of color. However, just sting a little bit, like what you doing in Atlanta?
That was definitely my reaction when I saw it. I mean, and I totally agree with what you're saying. I totally understand. Like, yes, Ghana probably needs some, not probably, they need schools too. But we have schools right here in America where they're dealing with like books with missing pages or really, really old books. Like schools in Baltimore and Chicago, here in Atlanta. I mean, Lil Jon, you from here. You from Atlanta. You could have donated some books, some computers. And yeah, I feel you on like what we were talking about earlier with how that money could be used and how far that money could go over there versus how it would here. But there are a lot of students who are in need here because there is a huge disparity between those who live in areas that are more well off versus poorer areas. So
I'm going to say something different than I said earlier because there's another perspective that comes from, you know, seeing the level of destitute that you see overseas. And I'm going to hope that this is the truth for Lil Jon, you know, out of respect for, you know, both of your sort of perspectives, because that's fair. Hopefully this changes his perspective on the importance of education everywhere. Hopefully this is something that started for him in Ghana because he saw it in Ghana, and then it comes back to Atlanta. It comes back to the streets of America when he comes back.
I mean, that's the hope of anything that ever happens on Earth, but that's not the reality as of yet. That's why I caution you to speak that way. But it's the hope that Oprah's school in Africa she did 20 years ago will be one day made in Chicago. It hasn't. So I get you, but we can only really speak about what has happened and what is in the works to happen. So speaking, I hope that since Harvey Weinstein only touched a woman the last time was 8 years ago. It never happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we can hope any fucking thing. What happened is he built a school in Ghana, and that's where it stops. And if he does something else after that, that'll be nice.
So we can't hope that he,
but I mean,
he does after.
Yeah, but I think that's clowning it. To me, that's well. Then we can add a hope to everything, every story we ever do. We can add a hope to it. I hope that this is the last time Trump does this. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, if you add that to it, to me,
okay,
maybe I'm just being a dick. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're looking. I mean, honestly, I think you're disparaging what he's done a little bit because you're looking at it as something bad. And what I'm
never said that. I said that it was great and I appreciate it and I understand
literally,
it, but it stings a little bit because he didn't do it here. Don't put words in my mouth. I said something very specific.
But you literally just compared it to 3 different things that we have identified on this show and are going to identify as bad. And you said, oh, it's just like saying, I hope this motherfucker didn't do this fucked up shit, and that motherfucker didn't do that fucked up shit.
No, I didn't say that. I said it's the hope that they won't do it anymore, or hope they'll do something different. What I was speaking about was changing course. I wasn't necessarily speaking about evil to good. It was changing direction. Having a school in Ghana as opposed to having a school in the United States. The specific example I gave was we can hope that Trump doesn't say more stupid shit or do more stupid shit. It was, I think, the example I gave.
But then you gave Harvey Weinstein, and then you gave another example as well.
Right.
And my point new is that I'm not looking at a bad track record and saying, okay, he's done these bad things and let's hope that he'll change. What I'm saying, what I thought we discussed on the air was we looked at a 0 track record. No help in any schools that we've read about on behalf of Little John or, that was Little John's doing. And now we see this, and this is something good. Let's hope. And why is that a bad thing to hope that he comes back and does the same damn thing in Atlanta?
I don't think it's a bad thing to hope. I'm looking at the trend that we have or the pattern that we have available to us, which is when Oprah did her school in Africa, people were upset about it. I was like, you don't know about the abject poverty that's going on over there. That's a little bit different in Chicago. Yeah, we need schools in Chicago too, but that's a little different. And I'm not mad at her for doing that. And hopefully she'll do it here too. But I said that 20 years ago, and she hasn't done it yet. So that's where I'm at. So when you said that, it took me back to 1997. You know what I'm saying? And me saying the same shit. And I'm like, well, let's not hope that, because let's not hold our hat on that. And I think it is fair to hold people who are in this position a little accountable. Because technically, they don't have to do shit. They don't have to. But if you're interested in educating and working to help inner city people or African people, well, black people with their educational opportunities, I can say, what about in America? And I don't think that's a bad question. I don't think it's an out of line question. I don't even think it's an ungrateful question.
I think that's a fair question.
I think it's a fair question.
Don't
and that's
deny
what I'm
that
saying.
At all. Don't
right.
deny that at all.
Yeah.
My hope is that he answers that question positively.
My hope is that too. But I felt like he was cutting him a pass. Like that, he deserves that question. Don't give him a pass because he opened a school in Africa.
We're not
that
doing
question. That's what I thought you were doing. That's why I was responding. That way.
That's fair. But
I do want to be fair and read something that Sam said. Sam, in this field correspondent, said there is diversity of languages in that region, and that's why he believes there are over 18 regional dialects, and this school helps them standardize the education so they can transition to the more established places for further education. So that sounds like to me he's talking about exclusive high schools, colleges, and there may be a limited amount of languages that these universities I guess teach in. And so if you're here at this level of education, here at that level, you can't get to that school because you might not speak 18 different dialects.
Yes.
So because of a language barrier, you have a limit.
Absolutely true.
And I respect that, and I dig it. And yet, I still wonder about schools in America. I went to a D.C. public schools. I did 2 years in military school, but aside from that, I was in D.C. public schools. And my education was much, much different than JB's education. And much, much different than Gilman's education. Did you go to public school?
I did for high school and middle school, not for elementary.
So our education is different. I went to Coolidge. Now, if you were in the city watching the show, you already know what Coolidge was like in the early 90s. They were shooting guns in my hallway. We be in class reading books and gunshots going off.
And to be clear, my high school wasn't the average high school because I did go to Eleanor Roosevelt, thank you, in Prince George's County, Greenbelt, Maryland, thank you, which is a blue ribbon high school. One of the top 5 in the state, so.
Yeah.
Good job, T. T said we have cultural barriers, so that's no excuse. I agree with you. I'm rocking with you. I wanna end it this way. Good job to Lil Jon. He gets our Grind and Shine Award for doing this. But too many times I'm starting to see the trend is to do this philanthropic work outside of the United States. And I just want to just tap you on the shoulder and say,
keep it going in the U.S.
We need some help here too.
Yeah.
Just so
keep
you know.
Going.
Just so
keep
you know.
Going. That's
if
a
you
fair
forgot
statement.
and you weren't sure, we need a little help here too.
That's a fair statement. I'm okay with that. That's a fair statement.
Right here in Atlanta.
T
Atlanta
says,
public schools are terrible.
Oh shit, T said Coolidge is being redone right now. And she just drove past Roosevelt.
Hey.
Are we on break?
No. We still got the other Grind and Shine Award.
Oh, one more Grind and Shine Award. Chris Long. Anybody want to take that? Because you know I take it. I love to talk. I love to talk.
So the son of Howie Long, and you know I've always been a fan of Howie
I did not
Long.
catch y'all say that he was the son of Howie Long earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That just clicked. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, son of Howie Long, NFL player. He's a lineman, a defensive lineman for the Eagles. Is it new? So following in his father's footsteps, literally. You know, he is donating an immense amount of money right now to increase educational equality. Now, this is something that he's implementing in his hometown of Charlottesville, Virginia, but he's using it as a platform for, you know, a national sort of foundation that he's going to start up. And interestingly enough, we were talking about people who need to promote education in the U.S. That's exactly what Chris Long is doing. And he's dedicating, what is it, like the remainder of his salary to this effort?
Game 6, 5. It's 11 games total. 11 game checks that'll go towards that.
Mm-hmm. And I want to say his first 2 game checks this season, he donated for like scholarships for 2 people.
Okay. And this will give you a little more background on Chris Long. Of course, he's Howie Long, son of the Raiders, and who does, I believe, CBS is, Fox's.
He was on Fox before. I don't know where he is now, but he was on Fox.
Chris Long, of course, was born and raised in Charlottesville, Virginia. That's where we had the Charlottesville riot where people walk around with their tiki torches. He was very outspoken about that. When black men started taking a knee on his team, he was the first white player to put his hand on his shoulder with his hand on his heart while they took the knee. It's showing solidarity, and he said he did that to show his African American brothers that he was riding with them. You know, he loved the country too much to take a knee, but he was gonna make sure that everybody saw him in support. So I love our Chris Browns, our John Browns. I call any white people that choose to help or be part of the struggle and embrace the culture in a positive way and defend the culture just as vigorously. My John Browns. And John Brown was a white man who stood and fought with slaves for freedom and was killed. It's like, we're not going to do this slave shit no more. I'm riding. And I'm killing masters with you. Like, you know, he gave his life. So I love my John Browns. People got so mad at Eminem, and they get so mad at, you know, Greg Popovich and anybody that speaks out against Trump or speaks out for black issues, like they're faking or like they're white, so it's just shut up. But I always appreciate my John Browns. I love you, you know what I'm saying? And I give you the fist, you hear me?
Yeah, that's why he gets the Grind and Shine Award.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Long, man. Having said that, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about the NBA. We have a couple other topics to get into. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. And ladies, some of y'all know how quick 2 minutes can be, so don't sit there all mad. Wow. Oh my gosh, you're going to be gone for 2 minutes.
God.
You know 2 minutes can go by pretty quickly. So we'll do that. We'll come right back. We'll get into the second half of the show. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. This segment, we're literally going to get up and walk away. We will be back within 2 minutes to get into sports, We got to get into The Walking Dead. We got to get into Netflix and chill. We got to get into Larry Flint. And I'm going to tell y'all what Ashanti said when she DM'd me back. Because you knew she was going to DM me back. You hear me? You hear me? So clap it up. We'll be right back. After this break. We'll be right back.